Oh, I want to get into this Superman conversation, but Kata's not here. Did you see Superman, bro?
I did. I liked it.
Okay. Oh, so it won't just be black shields on the show today. We got ourselves a white shield as well. So we're good. We're in the clear. All right. Fuck it. I'm gonna just go ahead and get it started.
Yeah, fuck Kato. We don't need him.
Yeah, we don't need. So, all right. So just go ahead and give us your initial thoughts on Superman.
Yeah, so I really liked it a lot, and I was not sure, how I would feel going in, but I think one of the things that I really liked about it was unapologetically comic booky, and it proved that you could do it without things being too much. Like a lot of people are saying there are too many characters in this movie, whatever, and it's like, but that's what reading comics are like, and they give you just enough information to carry you through the plot. They establish that hey, this is the norm for our world, which I think is great. And that way you kind of pick up the pieces as you go along. Like even Metamorpho, like for me, I'm like, oh, I know that's, Stag is related to that, blah, blah, blah. But, like I watched it with my mom who knows nothing about comics or any of this. And I was like, did you follow along perfectly fine? She's like, yeah, I followed along perfectly fine. And that is one of the things I liked about it. On top of that, I think Superman as a character was great. If you want to argue he wasn't as powerful as he should have been, that's perfectly fine. But I think it also felt like a hopeful, idealistic superhero story, which I liked. Lois was great. Lex was great. Guy Gardner was great. Overall, I really enjoyed the movie from start to finish. I have two major issues. Both of them are like gut punches at the end of the movie that really left a sour taste in my mouth at the end of what I otherwise really liked. But,
okay. I first I want to address your point when you said it's unapologetically cartoony and it's like the world full of characters. It's not overly bloated. I feel like you were in my brain because I thought that earlier. So
hey, yo, another man was in your brain.
That's a reach.
Yo,
that's a reach.
Relax.
That is a reach. Anyway, chat. By the way, spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled, I would.
Well, no. Start. We could talk about it without spoilers first.
Well, he already spoiled that Metamorphose in the movie.
That's not a spoiler. He was in the trailer.
Oh, I didn't see the nigga in the trailer. Anyway, so one of the things that Vaughn just brought up was the fact that it was unapologetically a comic book movie, and like people thought it was going to be too bloated with characters, and that can be further from the truth. The simple fact of the matter is, I think audiences are past the origin story comic book movies. We're over that shit. Now, when I look at these comic book movies now, I'm wondering where the fuck everybody at. And it's like you said, that's what comic book movies are. You might be reading a Wolverine comic book, and then out of nowhere, like for some odd reason, Spidey's swinging through the air or some shit like that. He might just say hi and bye and move on with his life or something like that. That's what comic books are. So why ain't the movies like that?
And it's why Invincible works, because it feels like a lived-in superhero world.
Like
if this guy shows up, you're not like, hold on, you have to stop and explain that guy to me. You're like, I want to know that guy's backstory.
Exactly. And so like there's the scene, and there's like the image of the scene that came out months ago where Superman is out looking for Crypto. Can't find him, so he stops by Lois's house, and he just chilling. And you see like Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl in the background fighting this interdimensional monster.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit weird that he didn't intervene in that. I get the point of this.
Well, but this is why I liked it though, because when you first see the image, the first thing I thought when I saw that image when it was circling around on the internet is, why is there an interdimensional monster fucking destroying the city in the background and Superman on his fucking ass at Lois' crib pouting like a bitch? That was my first thought. But when you see the movie, he explained it very well. Guy Gardner and them got it. They got it under control. I'm trying to find Crypto. In my personal opinion,
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let him go.
Let me finish. Because of the world, he's already been Superman for 3 years, and the world has metahumans all over the place. And he felt like that fucking monster wasn't a threat. I felt like it's a like Superman is not going to be at every fucking event that happens because he got shit going on this side of the world or that side of the world. I thought it was a fucking living world that we're living in. The fact that Superman could be at his girlfriend's house while Guy Gardner and company is fighting that monster. Now, yeah, of course you could say Superman should have been helping, of course. But because he was trying to find crypto is the reason why I accepted it. And the script knew that because she asked Superman, why are you not helping them? And he said, they have it under control. I'm trying to find crypto.
And I also get the sense that with the super speed in his hearing, if he knew something went off, like my brain, how I read it, would he'd be like, and go if it got out of hand.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, okay, I see where you're going with that. And yeah, I suppose you could say that, but the way I looked at it was like, this is a lived world where metahumans already exist. Superman doesn't need to be at every fucking event that's happening. That's the way I looked at it, Katie.
Oh no, I'm gonna let y'all keep going.
Well, no, that was my point.
We're not laying out a whole review, bro. We taking this piece by piece. We want to see you had some pushback, obviously. So go ahead and
I thought that scene was dumb because that was the one part that was the one part in the film where you're supposed to slow the story down and he's supposed to have this emotional moment because they're having a good conversation, him and Lois. But it's just like, oh, you can't get out of your own way, James Gunn. You have to have some funny in the background. You see, Guy Gardner getting his ass whooped by an eyeball and all that happening in the background. I felt like that didn't need to be there. Like you can do it another way, showing where these characters are doing something. And Superman's like, okay, I don't have to intervene in the way that I need to, like they did earlier with the kaiju, right? They had already did that. Like, I don't think that scene needed to be there. It felt out of place. It was distracting from the conversation that was happening. It felt like some TikTok shit. I didn't really like that at all.
That's fair.
I thought it was dumb. I thought it was dumb.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly. First of all, I didn't feel like, maybe you could say it's goofy in a comic book sort of way, but I didn't feel like it was to be funny or anything like that. I thought it was just a way of showing off. This is the world that we're in. This isn't an origin story. This isn't where we got to catch you up to speed on everybody who's in this world. This is Superman. We're telling this story from Superman's point of view, but also know that there are other metahumans all across the world, and right here you can see that in the foreground. At least
they already did that though. That's what I'm saying. You literally already did that earlier with the kaiju. You just did that. You didn't have to do that. It didn't have it in the background of the emotional moment that's supposed to be happening between Lois and Superman.
I do agree that a lot of the conversation between Superman and Lois was very rushed. As a matter of fact, this whole movie felt rushed. Not in the sense of it was slop and they pushed it out, but the fucking pacing.
The pacing is quick as shit.
The pacing, nigga, they was like, like, you see this? Good. Bitch, next scene, you see this? Good. Now this happening. You remember that? Yeah. Like they was moving. I'm like, wait.
So I think to the point, to Kata's point, I think that scene could have been an example of let's take a breather.
Yeah. Yeah, so and that conversation, I like the conversation that could have been more. So I agree with that part. I was just pointing out how I like the fact that they were breathing life into this world with other comic book characters. Yeah. But me and Kata disagree on that, which I didn't think.
I do feel like they didn't need to be in it that much.
Who?
I feel like Hawk Girl, Guy Gardner, they really didn't do much for the story, to be honest.
But that was
like if you take them out, it doesn't really change much.
It changes the film. I think the thing is they served the right amount of role. It was still Superman's movie. They were just there for a certain point.
Mr. Terrific did steal the show a little bit.
Mr. Terrific did steal the show. Not a little bit. He did steal the show. Like there's no little bit. He stole the show. I liked his portrayal. Like, and he's not like a big name character, right?
No, I've never heard of him before. I never heard of him.
Yeah, he's cool.
But it's like he stole every scene he was in. And it's like, damn, like this, I'm here for Superman, not Mr. Terrific, right? Even though everything you're doing with Superman, I'm liking. I'm not here for Mr. Terrific, but it's like most of the moments that Superman should have had, Mr. Terrific had. And it was like showing that, James Gunn feels more comfortable with that kind of character. And Guy Gardner, he's more comfortable with that character. And all these other obscure characters that are in the movie, like he's more comfortable with them than Superman. That's how it felt to me. Like I felt like most of that should have been
Superman moment. Because Superman creates the conundrum of you got this really ultra powerful being. How do you create conflict for him? Because he's supposed to be the most powerful ever. And you can see a struggle with that in this movie because it's like some of Superman powers be inconsistent. Now, this nigga got power that can move planets. How the fuck this nigga struggling with buildings and shit? Like, come on, like, but I want to focus on the positive for right now. So, Corn Sweat's portrayal as Superman. What we thinking?
Great.
Oh, loved it. I pissed people off. I think it's better than Henry Cavill's.
So this is how I know it was a good portrayal of Superman, because I hated the nigga. Okay, everybody knows Atreus is not a Superman fan. I hate him. I feel like he's a Boy Scout. Nigga's overly nice. He don't got the balls to do it. I mean, you got all this power and you don't want to slaughter nobody. Come on, gang. Like, but no. And all jokes aside, though, he was very. It was a movie about kindness. Nigga was overly kind, saving squirrels and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Like, I love that. That was Superman, man. And when he said, "Gosh darn it," I said, "There we go. We're good. We're doing it."
Yeah, that is who Superman is.
We're doing it right.
I don't want the edgelord.
I felt like Captain America kind of stole a little bit of that. Remember, language. You know what I'm saying? That's but Captain America
kind of characters they are. Yeah, but my issue is he does a very good job as Superman. I want him to be in a story where it's a lot deeper. Like a lot of this movie, like I do enjoy the movie, right? I enjoy it for what it is. I see all the flaws, though. I understand all the flaws, but I still think it's it's an entertaining film. My issue is there is a way that you can make his Superman. You can make a very good Superman movie with him because he's doing good. And the story for this one it was surface level. Everything of the movie was surface level.
I'm glad.
Because what do you know about Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific besides that's their name?
I agree. I think it wasn't a deep movie, but it was the movie we needed to start off with.
Well, I'm glad that you said surface level, because I think that with the success of phases 1 through 3 of the MCU, people are no longer, like I said earlier, people are no longer at the point where they want to see origin stories. And I feel like with Superman, because of where we left off with the Snyderverse, we were supposed to be going at Darkseid. That's who everybody was like, oh shit, we can't wait to see Darkseid, right? Well, now it all got rebooted, and now we're fighting with Superman versus, Lex Luthor. And while he had Ultraman in there, I mean, it's Lex Luthor. I want to see Superman fight motherfucking, Darkseid.
Well, see, that's where I disagree.
I don't think folks are necessarily done with origin stories. You got to do them. You don't have to do them every single time.
It's not about being done with origin
differently.
Stories. I just think people are ready to see people when it comes to comic book films. No more slow playing it. I don't think you can afford to slow play it anymore.
It depends. You can.
I mean, I was about to say it does because the Batman. It's slow the whole time, and people love that.
But it's also lived in.
It was like one of the worst performing Batmans. Like, not in the sense that it didn't make money, but like it only made like.
Well, no, because it was 3 hours. That's why it was 3 hours.
Well, it was 3 hours, and I just don't. I mean, like it was good, but it wasn't like. I think we just need supernatural Batman. Like I
didn't know it's the lowest performing Batman. That's interesting. I didn't know.
Well, like so, it made like $700 million at the box office. And then when you factor in inflation, that means less people went to see it. The last Batman movie we saw was really Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
And that was a bad film, but even that made $900 million at the box office, right?
All right, cool. We're not doing with Snyder ball liquors. That's good.
Huh?
I said we're not doing with Snyder ball liquors. That's
good. Well, that was before they became ball liquors.
When people tell me like Batman vs Superman is too smart for me, it's like go fuck yourself.
Huh?
Yeah, people say that. People will be like,
they do that. They do that.
And it's like if you're writing a Batman vs Superman movie, you're gonna make it too intellectual for me. Go fuck yourself. Like seriously, first of all, it's not an intelligent movie.
The only part I liked about it was just Batfleck. But it was stupid. It was. I don't even want to.
Batman is just. I don't want to. I could go rant about that movie for hours. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm getting mad just thinking about it.
Obviously,
it's good. I'm in good company then. All right.
Obviously, Christopher Nolan's Batman movies. Like, come on, them were hits. The first one didn't make $1 billion, but I'm pretty sure The Dark Knight made $1 billion, and then The Dark Knight Rises made $1 billion, even though it wasn't as good as the second one. And then going back to the older ones, I'd have to go and look at the numbers. Obviously, inflation factored in. So the Batman, the one with emo Batman, in my opinion, it was like the straight to Netflix version of all the Batman movies. In my opinion.
Yeah, you're bugging. You're bugging.
I don't think so. I think it was good.
I didn't say it wasn't good. I'm saying it was good. It's just I'm gonna tell you what pissed me off the most about that one. One I already told you. I'm sick of the bitchy Batman movies. I want to see supernatural Batman. I want to see the full-fledged Ra's al Ghul. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Clayface.
Another grounded take. Yeah, I get. We could use some more fantastical elements.
Yeah, I need
Ivy. That I agree with. Like, I do like it. I like that they went out of their way to have Batman be a detective. They went out of their way to have Batman not killing. That was cool.
Yeah,
but I still want more super.
I didn't like when he fucking tried to glide off that building and it wasn't his fucking cape. It was a goddamn balloon. I hated that shit.
It doesn't. People are like, this is a more grounded Batman. I'm like, so like the last 3 Batman movies.
Exactly.
Like I like the depiction of Gotham, but it doesn't need to be that grounded. I mean that's
and you can make it supernatural without making it goofy.
Yeah, you can. They've been doing it forever.
How the fuck? Back to Superman.
Yeah, sorry. But so this movie had the right amount of, I think, goofy and not. I do agree we could use some more moments. I don't know.
I kind of disagree with that because fucking Crypto is the bane of my existence. I hate that fucking dog.
He was a little bit too much.
He was in there too much. And then like the story arc that you're going on throughout the whole movie, it should have been bad dog at the beginning, kidnapped by Lex Luthor. Superman saves him. He gets some goddamn sense and realizes that he has to listen to Superman.
Yeah,
and then he's good dog by the end. That's how they should have did it. But no, they did goofy dog throughout the whole time. And it's like, oh, you see this dog? Oh, he doesn't listen. Oh, he's bad dog. And there, you know what's making it worse for me? I'm sorry to rant. There was a stupid motherfucker in front of me that kept laughing throughout the whole movie at everything. Right? Like he's one of those people like when there was something that wasn't that yes, there was something that wasn't that funny, but he would laugh. Right. So whenever Crypto showed up, he would go, There was one time he goes, oh, he's just like my dog. I almost threw my fucking popcorn at the back.
Let's play a game. Hold on, chat. Let's play a game of what race was he?
Hold on.
This individual was black. He was black.
I'll do it.
Right?
He was pissing me off.
Was he black?
Oh, yeah. He was whiter. He was whiter than snow at 11:59 in the afternoon.
Was he whiter than me?
White as shit. Oh my god, that's so funny. He was laughing the whole time. He was pissing me off. He was white as shit.
That's not what I asked you.
What?
Was he whiter than me or no?
Yes, he was white.
Oh,
he was pissing me off too. He looked like he lives in a basement.
Yeah, that would have been my second guess. Either he's a black guy loud in the movie, or he's like the kind of guy that claps when the plane lands.
No, when black people are loud in movies, it's ignorant shit. Like when going back to Batman, when I went and saw The Dark Knight Rises, remember the montage of when Batman was recovering from having his spine broken, and they did the montage of him working out. Mm-hmm. Niggas in the theater talking about for every push up he did, turn up. So I'm like, man, shut the fuck up! Like, what the fuck? Like what? Like niggas being at the fucking theater, like, nigga, turn up. I'm like, bro, anyway, back to Superman.
Yeah, back to Superman. Fuck Crypto, okay? Like that was my main issue with the movie.
Yeah, he was too disobedient to an annoying degree.
It was Crypto, and a lot of the characters just didn't need to be there. Like most of the cast of the Daily Planet did not need to be there.
And but they're there because it's Superman.
Yeah, I know, but it's very surface level, right? Because
that was fine.
Going in, you know who they are. Like, you know, if you read comics, but if you're a normie, you don't know who Cat Grant is. You don't know who Perry White is, besides the fact that he's the editor. You don't know who Jimmy Olsen is, besides the fact that in this version, he's like getting a bunch of bucks. You don't know who any of these people are besides their names.
Hey, I want to talk about that. I actually like Jimmy Olsen and the little side thing with his girlfriend. That shit was hilarious to me.
Yeah, that was great.
The first time, and then they kept doing it.
Well, Kate is mad because they were taking shots at feet, and he was like, "This is my territory."
Nah, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. Kate didn't like it, but I thought it was hilarious when he was trying to get information out of her, and she kept making that nigga commit the promises. That nigga silenced. Maybe
that was so good. That was good.
I got it. It was funny. You know what I mean? But I feel like they did too much of that.
I don't know. When she said you got to hang out with me for the whole weekend, and Jimmy was like, "How long, bitch?" I said the whole weekend. Fuck. That shit was funny.
Yeah, that was great. No, I thought that was really solid. Honestly, here's the thing. Here's my thing. Again, getting back to the lived-in world. Okay, let's say they're not there. You get just enough to get a hint of their personality, and it's for the rest of us to go, okay, cool. Like if we're watching the way it felt like a comic book in the sense, if I'm reading Crisis on Infinite Earths, and there's these characters, the fact that they're just drawn in makes me go, I appreciate that. They may not have a scene, they may not have a line of dialogue, but the fact that they showed up for this fight, this is DC Comics. And that's how that felt. This is the Daily Planet. Oh, you got Cat Grant. I know who she is. Lombard. I know who he is. They didn't need to do a lot, but that is the Daily Planet. If you're not having them there, you're going to have two other people with insert name in the office.
And it's like the comics will have enough randos in them for you. Just use them. You know what I'm saying?
If they don't have a big role, that's fine. It's like if Spider-Man is at his school, I'd rather have them all be named characters in the comics, or most of them. Even if as long as they're vague, like the characters in the comics, if they don't have a line of dialogue, that's fine.
Yeah, I just feel like we were spending too much. It was not enough time with Lois. I think that's my main issue. There wasn't enough time of Lois and Superman together. You had two scenes with that. You have the beginning, you have the little bit right there near the middle of the film, and then they get together at the very end. Like there's not that much Lois and Clark together.
There was a lot of time that needed to be explored with their relationship, because one, we don't get to experience them falling in love with each other. We just they're already together, or at least dating, right? All right, and then you go straight into this thing where she interviews him and she's cooking him, and he getting all defensive about it. All right, and then she goes, I don't feel like this relationship's gonna work. It's like I'm in my mind, I'm thinking the same thing Superman said. Hey, bitch, what you say? And then he just leave. I'm like, nah, again, we need more of that. I need to figure out what she's talking about, because that hit a little close to home. What you mean?
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. They had that conversation, but what was happening in the background? Funny, you see, guys.
That's true. I know he's making. I get both sides of the argument.
That was that conversation.
No, it wasn't.
They did have that.
No, it wasn't.
They did have that conversation during it, because he literally asked her,
talking about the monster in the back?
Yes, he literally asked her, why did you say that? That's quite literally what he said. He said, why did you say this would never work?
I'm talking about when they had the conversation the first time.
I know, and I'm saying, you're saying that we should have seen more of that. I'm saying they did that, but they had that in the background. You don't even remember that happened, because the thing was happening in the background.
No, I didn't remember that happened. I thought you was talking about during that first conversation. That's what I was talking about. But you brought up the conversation, the follow-up conversation. I didn't know that's what you were talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I see the enjoyment. I had the enjoyment watching it, but there was like a little too much scatterbrain shit going on throughout the movie. And there is one thing that they did in the movie that I cannot forgive. It's a spoiler. We're going to talk about it.
There's two things they did that I can't forgive.
Okay. I know exactly what your second one is, because I hated that too. But the first one it's egregious. So I can't.
If the movie was a 10 out of 10, it takes it to
spoilers,
an 8
guys,
or a 7.
Spoilers. If you don't
okay, hey, listen, hold on. This is about to be a spoiler real quick. Hold on. Let me see. Do I have a clip? And when this clip is over, we're gonna
follow me before you leave, guys. Subscribe.
We're gonna get into the spoiler. If you don't want to hear the spoiler, mute the stream. Don't leave the stream. Just mute it. I'll play another clip when we're done with the spoilers. But yeah, we have to talk about this, because holy shit. Hold on. Let's get a clip to play real quick before we get into the I'll use this one.
Good moo. Oh, you found your moo. Good job. Where'd that come from? Oh wow.
Really?
What the fuck was
that? You could have at least played something DC related.
Fuck that fat bastard.
Get back in the kitchen.
There you go.
All right, so let's talk about the part that is egregious, and I cannot forgive James Gunn for this. Is the change to Jor-El.
Yes, unforgivable.
Fuck that. Fuck James Gunn for that.
And the worst part of it too is he gave himself multiple opportunities to walk it back. You authentically could have had Lex doctor the footage or take it out of context. The fact that he went out of his way. it's because to me, I assumed the whole movie that okay, well, it was taken out of context. There was editing the footage, and the fact that, and then when he gets to the end scene and he shows his actual parents, I was like, "Fuck you!" And that because that end scene proved that okay, we're not going back. Because I assumed that him playing the parents at the end would confirm it, which was great. Because that would have been a great recovery from the thing that also pissed me off. The two biggest things that happened were two gut punches right at the end of the movie, and I really liked the movie up until this point. It was that, and then Supergirl. Fucking the worst. I haven't seen the Flash movie, to be fair, or the shitty 80s movie. Keeping that in mind, that is the worst depiction of Supergirl I have ever seen.
That's Tom King's Supergirl.
That is who? That's Tom King's. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, because of my mom, again, I watched that movie with my mom. My mom goes, like, she barely knows anything about comics. She goes, why would they make her a drunk? Like, that's gross. Yeah. And it's like, first of all, let's have the shining ideal for the men. And then in true feminist fashion, let's make the women just dirty and gross. And then we'll call it empowerment or whatever. I don't know if that's the angle, but whatever the angle is, hashtag not my Supergirl. First of all, the girl is gorgeous. She looked the part and everything. And when she's playing with Krypto, I'm like, yay, she's so fun because that's who Kara is. And then I'm like, oh, she's a drunk. And then
that's the girl that plays in House of the Dragon. She plays what's the princess's name? Rhaenyra. So she plays Rhaenyra.
Yeah, she calls Superman a bitch. That kind of like that.
That shit. I'm like first of all, we don't get into some of the conversations surrounding Superman or the entire movie.
Oh, what a surprise! Someone dealing with PTSD in a Tom King story. What a fucking surprise!
I don't like her as Supergirl, but I want y'all to understand that I am not a DC Comics guy. So my opinion on who should play who should be tossed out of the window. Me personally, I didn't see her being a drunk as that much of an issue. But then again, take my opinion on what she should be depicted as and toss it out of the window. All right, I don't know. It's not what I would imagine Supergirl to look like,
because that's not who she is. So Supergirl, my Supergirl. You want to know some of the best Supergirl stuff? So there is. Have you guys ever seen Superman Batman Apocalypse? I need to read the comic, but like that has a great Supergirl, the animated series. Yeah. Supergirl is at her core. And this is another thing, because just in that small scene, one of the great things about this movie was in all these small scenes, you got the gist of their character. You got the gist, that is Guy Gardner. He would do that. This character feels this way about this person. In just these snippet interactions, like even the Daily Planet, you're like Cat Grant being the bimbo, whatever. All those things you get. And what bothered me is you could just tell fundamentally that this Superman-Supergirl relationship is wrong, because so Supergirl was sent in to protect Clark, right? She's technically older than him, but by the time she showed up, he's an adult. So it's kind of like they're protecting each other. So when he's like, oh, she goes off and gets drunk on planets, I'm like, great, dude, you're a great role model. So it makes Superman look like an asshole. It makes her look like an asshole because they're both neglecting each other's duties to protect one another. And one of the things I love about their dynamic is they're both protecting each other in different ways, and to the point where what we have is have you ever read Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Yeah.
All right. So like Supergirl's death is one of the moments that, like, more than Flash, like I knew it was coming going in, but it's devastating because it's like she finally fulfills her purpose of protecting Superman at the cost of her own life. Like she's want to die for him and everything. And this movie's like, see you later, bitch. I'm like, great. Incredible. Thank you, Tom King. Thank you, King.
Yeah. Bitch. And then she's like and then like the dog's still a little asshole.
And he's like, yeah, she gets drunk and goes off planets. Great, dude. Good, let her just, she's clearly, if she is dealing with PTSD, which I believe that's what they're going, that's even worse. You're letting her be an alcoholic, Superman?
Yeah.
So
horrible. We end the movie on that, and then the parents confirmed to be horrible back to back. And I was like,
so if you guys don't know, what they did with Jor-El and Laura is they made them Viltrumites, pretty much.
Yeah.
They made them Viltrumites.
Unforgivable.
They sent Superman to rule, to spread his seed, fuck all these bitches and to rule the planet. Which was like, that's not Jor-El at all. He sent his son to another planet to live and, to live pretty much, because that's his son. He didn't send him there to be no fucking conqueror. That's some Zod shit. That's something Zod would do, which I've been seeing a bunch of cope on the internet where it's like, oh, they're probably going to do a retcon where it's like, oh, that wasn't actually Jor-El, that was Zod.
I was thinking that in the sequel, maybe
or Brainiac did it and he altered the footage. No, it doesn't even matter if you retcon that. It's still stupid in execution because you killed the character of Jor-El in this new universe before you even see him. And then on top of that, another thing that rubbed me, Superman killing Ultraman, who was actually Bizarro, because that's Bizarro. That's his Ultraman in name. That's Bizarro. That was weird. Where it's like, yeah, he didn't outright try to kill him, but still, this
that's
is
how
like
I
your
figured he was
clone.
gonna do him, because I didn't think he was gonna actually kill him. I thought he just threw him into like another dimension or some shit.
Well, see, that's another code where it's like, oh, he probably just sent him to the Phantom Zone or something like that. It's like, no, let's not try to do retcons like that, because you have to think about it in isolation. In isolation, he just saw his clone, somebody who was exactly like him, and it didn't really phase him at all. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna go blow to blow with him. That's pretty much all that happened. And then you throw him into a black hole to fucking die.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
He did
I didn't even think about that, but I think it's because of the pacing of the movie. I didn't stop to think about a lot of these things critically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I didn't like. I didn't like the whole pocket dimension shit. I just didn't like that shit. I'm like, okay, so your grandmaster plan was to take Superman into a pocket dimension and have fucking Metamorpho hold the nigga hostage for the rest of his life? Because
well, no, his plan was to kill him, but he said the government wanted him alive for some reason, which other governments sent prisoners to that pocket dimension, which is why it didn't really bother me, because I'm like, that's some shit Lex Luthor would do. So
I just didn't like the shit, because I felt like something bigger was gonna come out of that. Like, okay, they're in a pocket dimension, maybe there's a monster here or some shit. Like, I kept anticipating for something bigger to come out of that, and I just felt like, okay, so the big threat was that the pocket dimension was just gonna split the planet. All right, fine. And Lex Luthor didn't care about that shit at all, just as long as he could kill Superman. I don't know, that shit then, because at least what I thought I knew about Lex Luthor, again, my opinion on DC Comics period should be thrown out the window, but what I thought about Lex Luthor was that his obsession with killing Superman came from him believing that he should be at the Earth's protector or whatever the case may be. And you got this Superman figure coming out of nowhere, not even from here. So I thought it was a little bit out of character that he wouldn't give a fuck about what this fucking pocket dimension does to the planet if you're destroying the fucking planet trying to get rid of Superman. This nigga didn't care at all.
He hates Superman. You know what I mean? He does not want this man around because it makes him feel inadequate, makes him feel small, makes him feel like he's not as good as Superman. So that's why he wants him to go. I absolutely like the depiction of Lex in this one. And then it's like, okay, I also have to remember this is young Lex Luthor, right? He's not methodical, like reserved Lex Luthor where he needs to be yet. So I'm like, okay, if I know it like that, all right, fine. He's having a little temper tantrum. Yeah, you might need to stop doing that. Stop throwing shit at your bitch, even though that's evil. And I'm like, yeah, that's some evil shit. Let my villain be a villain now. All right, cool. He's throwing pencils at his girl and throwing shit on the floor for people to clean it up. I like that. I'm like, okay, cool.
He's petty. I like that he was petty.
That's nice.
But I think he could have been a bit scarier.
Yeah. You like
because he gives a similar speech to I think in the end where he talks about how much of a petty bitch he is. I will say, yeah, it works, but it comes off. I don't know if it like the way he says it in All-Star Superman. He says a very similar thing, but to me, it felt a little like, given the context, a little tacked on at this. The timing it felt a little weird.
It's the monologue thing, right?
But he said that, but like in All-Star Superman, it worked because again they slowed down. Because All-Star Superman, he's working out at the gym, as he's saying. He's like, doesn't matter how smart I am, I'm a parody of a man next to him, whatever. Yeah. And that's why I hate Superman. And so I get that.
Good.
It was good, but I get what you're saying.
What what my complaint is with people on the internet though, which is like this movie's very divisive. Like it's like either you like it or you hate it, which I'm fine. We're talking about the merits of it and not because it's woke. That's refreshing that we're arguing the merits of the film, not on the basis of some social political bullshit. But there's people complaining that he didn't say true justice in American way. And I'm like, I get it, but when has Superman said that in live action?
Yeah, he hasn't. Like, also, because I was thinking about it critically, I think the reasons for why they dropped it are stupid. Like, I think it should be allowed to be said, but doesn't have to be said. Like, we don't want to be outraged.
I think it should.
For example, the Justice League being the Justice League and not the Justice League of America, like originally.
What do you think about the criticism? What do you think about the criticism that everybody was crying in this movie?
No, I absolutely okay. So look, when they were talking,
I think they kind of overdid it with Pa Kent a little bit.
Pa Kent. No, I didn't understand the Pa Kent thing. It's like, no, his son just got his ass whooped and he cares about his son. That's not weak. You know, he's telling his son he's proud of him. That's not weak.
You know what I mean? Like, him crying. They pointed out Metamorpho crying.
No, the Metamorpho shit was weird.
What? He saw a guy's head get blown off. I think that was good because that was him reflecting on himself as a man.
It didn't feel like that in the moment.
There was no point where Superman was crying, was it?
No, he didn't cry.
Okay. See, the reason my defense
they did point out him getting kicked in the nuts. Okay.
Yeah, he got kicked in the nuts during the fight, and then right after he beats the shit out of both of them.
And then they pointed out the fact that Lex Luthor was crying, but that wasn't like tears of like emasculation. That was
tears of anger.
Tears of anger.
Angry.
Like, what the
he was angry as shit. That wasn't they beat me. That's not what that was. That was tears
like,
of frustration.
I am going to kill your entire bloodline kind of tears.
Yeah, that was tears of anger. I don't like the Pa Kent is a crybaby. No, he's not. That's his fucking son.
And to be honest, I do think there is a point where and this is kind of where I try not to label myself in a lot of ways, is because I think there's a point where look, woke stuff can be really annoying, right? But there's a point where you're like, if you're looking too much for it in everything, are you not like the SJWs that are like everything is racist and sexist? And like at a certain point, you're starting to get to that level. I'm not saying you can't make valid criticisms. Like I thought maybe Pa Kent might have been a little too mushy, and the fact that the wife had to bring it up twice to kind of like emasculate him, I wasn't crazy about.
Yeah, she didn't have to say him that many times. Yeah,
that bothered me. But to say otherwise, I think that most of them were valid.
That's
classic.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like the Metamorpho one. Just came out of nowhere to me because it's like if you've been there already, like if they would have established that he just put Metamorpho in there and he's just now figuring out who Lex Luthor is, then it would make more sense where he has that realization that this is a lunatic. But they give the kind of vibe like he's already been in prison here for a while. So it's like, okay, why are you just now? You see him shoot this dude in the head. Why are you just now figuring out that this man is a psychopath and you're crying about that? You would have been felt like that if you already knew who he was.
I'll tell you
it just
another
felt like
thing
it came out of nowhere.
Well, no, it's really kind of the same thing I hated. Again, the pocket dimension stuff with that goddamn baby. That shit.
Yeah, that fucking baby, dude. I'm sorry.
Fucking grossed me out the entire. That whole scene of them.
I didn't know Metamorpho because I must have missed the wife. I do like that. What was her name? Something Stag, Metamorpho's wife. Like that, you do see her. Right?
They did. It was a blink and you miss it kind of thing.
Yeah, because I must have blinked and missed it, but my mom pointed it out. I'm like, oh, that's so cool because I know what that means.
Miss it
that
if you blink.
Same backstory.
Yeah. You blink.
You said blink if you miss it.
It's a blink and you miss it.
Blink
Yeah,
and you miss it.
Blink and
you said blink if you miss it.
That's not what I said.
I swear. Rewind the tape back.
All right, so Sapphire Stag did show up for a second. That's cool.
Yeah, she was there for like that was.
But I didn't know they had a kid together.
Mm-mm.
I ain't gonna lie.
No, I'm sorry. The baby looked weird. Okay, and like
gross.
The way I guess it was all the colors and the way the camera was moving during that action scene, and Crypto the fucking dog.
The joke with Crypto being disobedient, and not even just the joke and the plot point. Crypto. I was tired of it by the end. I liked Crypto, and I'm glad he was in the movie. Personally, I really was, but I think they overdid that disobedient dog thing. It got old.
It got old very quick. No, you know who didn't need to be in the movie? I'm sorry. Hawk Girl didn't. She did nothing for the movie.
She did enough.
All she did was scream. That's all she did. All she did was scream. What else?
We needed someone else to pad out the roster of the. Otherwise, it would have just been Mr. Terrific. You can't have a gang or with just two people. You need a. But
at least
trio.
with Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific, they have some character. You're like, oh, Guy Gardner, he's a dickhead and he's a Green Lantern. Mr. Terrific, he's the smartest dude in the team and he's like kind of stoic. What is Hawkgirl? She's Latina and she screams.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I wasn't looking for her to do anything. I wasn't looking for her to add in. What I understood from her was that she was part of the Justice Gang. Mr. Terrific was obviously the star of the movie, and Guy Gardner was just there for a little bit of comedic and just to let you know that he's a part of this world. But I wasn't expecting anything from either one of them. I could argue that you got a little bit too much of Mr. Terrific, considering the fact that we're here to see Superman, and Guy Gardner was enough to not be annoying. But I wasn't really looking, and I'm biased, obviously, because I think Hawkgirl and Hawkman is some garbage. I can't stand either one of those characters.
Hawkman and Hawkgirl?
Yeah, I think that's just fucking garbage. I didn't like Hawkman in that fucking terrible what's that movie with The Rock in it? Black Adam. I didn't like him in that shit. I don't care if he's white, black, Hispanic, whatever. I don't care. I just think Hawkman and Hawkwoman or Hawkgirl, whatever. Is some guy. I just think DC has some like really garbage tier characters.
Yeah, you can't really ask him about DC characters because he's very biased.
Yeah, I'm first of all, I love Dr. Fate. Okay,
Dr. Fate's cool.
Dr. Fate was dope. Even I don't care about him being compared to Doctor Strange. I don't care. I felt like he's dope. I love the helmet, the gold. It's all dope. I like Mr. Terrific. I'm not a big Flash guy. I like him. I'm not big on the fast character. I don't like neither one of them from either universe. I don't like Quicksilver. I don't like Flash. Shazam, garbage. I thought The Rock was gonna make me like Black Adam. Nope, garbage. I love the whole Batman universe, and I like Superman's Rogues Gallery. But other than that, man, everybody else in the DC can kick rocks. Blue Beetle, garbage. Wonder Woman. I love Wonder Woman. Okay, I love Wonder Woman. Don't get that twisted. I love Raven. I love the Teen Titans. Period. So
I hate hearing the trades. It's like DC takes. It's like
like
a kid.
It's like this is so bad. This is like I'm trying to be nice here, but you're just like this character I know nothing about sucks. Yeah, character I know nothing about sucks. Like notice how when you start asking me about Dragon Ball, I don't go that sucks. I go I don't know.
Well, no,
this guy, is like giving his own gospel on a book he's never read.
No, because your assumption is that I have no experience with either of those characters. What I'm telling you is the experience that I've had from them, I think are garbage.
All right, that's fair. I think, all right, so like Hawkgirl to me served her role, which was minimal and was fine. Like she didn't need a lot. Also, because they went between two. I don't think this counts as Ginger side because obviously there is the redhead version of the character, but this seems to be the Kendra Saunders version that they're going with, who is darker and has brown hair. Because obviously, the one in the Justice League show was the redhead. But it seems like they went with this other one, which I'm fine with. I'm curious where Hawkman is at or what Hawkman they're going to go with then. If they're, but I guess that'd be to me. I think it. But again, lived in world. The fact that she exists hints at other things, which I like. I think the Justice Gang not having a name. So do you think they're going to turn them into because this group has. I think part of why they did that was to show they're building up to something better, and because if it was the Justice League, that has a certain level of gravitas that these characters.
I hope they build to the Justice League for a while. I do.
And also, I think because the team was a mix of JSA and Justice League characters. Like Mr. Terrific is more known for JSA. Hawkgirl really is known for both. And then Guy Gardner, mostly Justice League International is what he's known for.
So before we conclude, was this enough to kickstart the DC universe?
Yeah, retcon that shit with Superman's parents and get Supergirl's act together. And then we're good.
Yeah, if you look at it like when I walked out, I'm like, families and kids are gonna love this shit.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it is enough to.
Like, and that's what matters, right? That was my whole thing. It's like, yeah, the core audience, you have to be there, but if you don't capture the normies back to get into like, you know, superhero projects again, then you're cooked. And this is going to get the families, and this is going to get the normies in there. And just as a, like, you know, I'm not a mindless entertainment kind of guy, so I'm not going to say it's a turn your brain off kind of movie. No, it's not like that. I will say with the surface level shit that James Gunn introduces into the film, it works on that level, like on the surface level. That's how it works. It's not one of those you think too deep into it. It's like, oh, this is great. It's a nice introduction to this DC universe, and it does give every single character and Superman and the world a like starting off point in a good way. Where I'm like, I want to see a movie with Superman where it's just Superman, Lois, you know, some Daily Planet people, and it's Superman going up against, I don't know, like Mongrel or somebody like that. I want to see that, you know, like I want Superman to be in his own movie. I don't need another team up movie. I don't need that, right? Yeah, I want to see more Lex Luthor, you know, Mr. Terrific. Can we get him like a spinoff or some shit? Because he was fucking great. Yeah, like he was good. Get rid of fucking Crypto, right? And please, for the love of God, retcon like the Jor-El shit and the black hole stuff. Say that's the Phantom Zone or something. Like, you know, it does what it needs to do, which is kickstart the DCU and to get people interested in the universe. So, and on that point, it worked.
And I think those things are big, but it's also, it shows how many things they do right, that those really stick out. You know, if there's a movie that gets everything wrong, it's like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I know where to start my criticisms. And then the others, I could say, the things this movie does right far outweigh the things it does bad. And the fact of the matter is, this movie does a lot of things, and it does most of them great. Yeah. Guy Gardner felt like Guy Gardner. Hawkgirl, even though her role was smaller, felt like Hawkgirl.
I see where the most complaint that I see is that Superman needs help from everybody and he can't do everything.
Yeah, that I think is a valid.
That's where it's like, okay, I understand that. Like, that's where I'm like, okay, for this movie, what you're doing here, it works. But when I see Superman the next time, I know this is young. Up. I want Superman, you know, he could be emotional a little bit, but you need some more stoicism, and he doesn't need everybody to help him. He needs to do shit by himself, right? And that's how I see it.
So and I think having kaijus, because a lot of people would just kind of be like, oh, we need to have insert Superman villain. I actually like that they were like these, like, oh, this weird version of Ultraman, blah, 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 because it showed that he knew, if I'm going to put these characters in the movie, they have certain weight, and I can't just throw Parasite and then kill him off. I can't throw Brainiac and just kill him off. If I need a character to fit this, that's why I think we had Guy Gardner, and because he knows Hal Jordan can't just be the guy.
I agree with that. Now, with all that positive being said,
before you say that, Atreus, I will give this film more points than usual because at least Superman is trying to be a fucking hero, right? Throughout the whole movie, the only thing he's trying to do is save people's lives. That's all he's trying to do. He wants to save people's lives, and we see him save multiple people's lives throughout the whole film. This ain't like no Ironheart shit where she's like, oh, I need that power so I can, you know, get me a new weave in the next week or some shit like that. No, this nigga is trying to save people's lives, and I appreciate that. We don't see that a lot nowadays with our superheroes being actual heroes. So,
all right. Yeah. So with all that positive stuff being said, I do recommend you guys go and see it for yourselves. However, even with that being said, as it looks right now, I ain't gonna lie to you, gang, this don't look good.
No, they changed that.
Oh God,
they changed it.
Yeah. They said the projections were looking like it was going to be this, but that increased. They increased the projections. They increased it because of the word of mouth.
I mean, this is 5 hours ago, 7 hours ago. On its way to $140 million. That ain't good.
That's it for the opening weekend?
140 million? Well,
I mean, for what do we think the budget is? 100 because
they said it was 200.
Okay, and the marketing, that's at least 150. So I'm saying they need like 100, because remember, it was originally they were supposed to be having 100 and like $80 million opening.
I think the word of mouth is going to do a lot of good for this movie.
I hope so. That's what I'm thinking.
Because DC, now, you have to think people aren't excited to see the new DC because of their track record.
Now, I will say this: $22 million in Thursday previews, right? And then if we go back to this one, $55 million Friday opening. That already puts them at almost $80 million. You got Saturday and Sunday still left. If you can do $55 million on Friday, you can damn sure do $60 million on. That's already $140 million right there, and you ain't even got the Sunday.
I think next week's going to be the tell.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that word of mouth is going to be really good. Like I said, I really like this movie. Are there valid complaints? Sure, but there are valid complaints about most movies, and not given the cast, not everyone was going to shine up everywhere. But I'm very happy with this movie overall.
I wouldn't say that I'm happy with it. I did enjoy it though. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I didn't.
But one of the things it didn't, minus the Jor-El is going to be the Achilles heel of this.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say they didn't bastardize any of the characters, except they did bastardize some characters. Oh my God.
Steamboat Shazam.
No way. Dude, wait, is this character, does EC still own the rights to this character? How do you think a book like that would crowdfund?
Yeah. Look, Googling stuff live. Look, no, why you want to talk about cryptid? You the one who looked it up live. Hey, you know what? You know what? That reminds me. The Superman. I think that's why I like. I think that's why I like the movie. It does feel like a Silver Age comic.
Yeah, I agree.
It feels like a Silver Age comic.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
Yeah, there was a mix of modern, which again I think is another reason why I harp on the twist with the parents and the twist with Supergirls, because those felt modern, where everything else felt Silver Age, and modern not in a good way, modern in a cringe way.
Yeah.
Everything else
felt that Jor-El shit. No, dude, that's unfair.
I was like, because here's the thing, I wasn't mad when that stuff came out because I was like, well, they're gonna be an excuse. It wasn't until the end scene where they go, "These are my actual parents," and it's I'm like, fuck.
Well, he even says it though. Like at the during the middle of the film, Lex shows up, and Lex is like, the president is like, "Oh, that was a good job planting that evidence," and he's like, "No, that's real." Lex was like, "No, that's real. I didn't do anything."
Yeah, but Lex is also a villain, so I assume that he was lying.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't lying, dude. That's what kind of pissed
me off.
They
tried to do that with the Waynes and the Telltale games. They're like, the Waynes were evil, and I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, you gotta stop doing shit like that.
You gotta stop doing shit like that. You will not see that in my comic book.
Hey, shameless plug. Look at this grifter. Look at this grifter. Shameless plugging. But yeah, just final thoughts on Superman. How y'all feeling about it?
I mean, the best thing that I can say for it is it's one of those movies where you can go, because like I said in my video on Twitter, I said we used to go to the movies just to see if we like the movie. We don't do that anymore because we already know we're not gonna like the movie beforehand, because Hollywood is so full of shit nowadays. Mm-hmm. This is one of those movies where I'm not telling you it's good. I'm not telling you that you're gonna like the movie. I'm telling you it's worth going to see if you like. Because we used to go and watch movies, and even though you spent that money and you just sat there for 2 hours and saw a movie that you didn't like, you enjoyed getting out of the house. You enjoyed the experience. You enjoyed the popcorn, the nachos, the whatever it was that you got. You enjoyed being with your family, your girl, or whoever you was with, your boys or whatever. You enjoyed that part of it, and you enjoy roasting the movie coming out of it. But nowadays, you don't even be feeling like giving these people your money. And I feel like this is one of those movies that you can, even if you don't like the film, you won't feel like you wasted your money leaving out of the theater. So go see it.
I mean, I don't like to give numbers or letters because that shit's all subjective. Mm-hmm. I like to do it as your most valuable resource, which is your time. So I say, yeah, it's worth your time. It's worth your time.
7 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, good. A solid 6.5. A solid 6.5 is different than the regular 6.5. Solid 6.5 means I'd watch it again.
Oh yeah, I definitely intend on watching it again.
Would I watch it over Man of Steel? Absolutely. Sorry. Fuck Man of Steel. Not watching that.
It's Man of Steel is a mixed bag. I saw it 3 times
in
theaters.
I tell you what. I fucking hate that goddamn suit in this movie. I hate that fucking suit.
Yeah, there was a moment where the suit looked weird. Like when they step off the little carrier to go to the pocket dimension, and you get to see full frontal the suit. Nah, I was like, nah, man, you gotta tone that up a little bit, dude.
It looks like cosplay to me.
Weird. Yeah, it looked weird.
And
we know he got jacked for the movie. You know what I'm saying? Put the nigga in the suit.
Yeah, put the nigga in tights. You know what I'm saying? Fuck.
Let's see. Oh,
nigga, you gay. Fuck.
Nah, man. But yeah, your turn, Vaughn. What you think, man?
I think I'm gonna go with 7.5. I think it's mostly good. Those little elements, but the good it does far outweighs the bad. I really like the movie. Maybe even an 8. But I'm gonna say 7.5 because of the Jor-El shit. It's a 7.
Yeah, that Jor-El shit's unforgivable. I'm sorry. We usually don't hit the super chats like this, but this can't be ignored. This nigga Eric Jenkins with a 199 said, so 3 bananas out of 5.
It's a food fight. They literally.
Yo, why is he so aggressive with it? That's what be killing me. Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, man.
This nigga said 3 bananas out of 5.
Oh, it's gonna be a crazy. It's gonna be a crazy.
I'm gonna start using that. So no, not 3 bananas. 6.5 bananas out of 10. And that's
absolutely insane. All right, man. We gotta start getting to these super chats, dog.